And now you're Friday. This is a better sweet marvelous sweet just say me who the America dynamic what Friday. Everybody shout for me. And now you're Friday. This is a better sweet marvelous sweet just say me who the America dynamic what Friday. Everybody shout for me.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to this quick broadcast with Mr. O. Yes, it is a wonderful day to be alive. It is a Friday, and I'm happy to come your way once again with an exciting conversation. Share to your friends, to your colleagues. Let us learn from this little conversation because every conversation on this page it's an opportunity to learn something new. I'm learning every day, and I believe you are also learning every day. All right, Isaiah, good morning to you. Yes, so it's been a minute. As I said this week, most parts of Africa are voting for new presidents, and as a person who is on agenda for progress, it is your responsibility to create timelines for yourself. And one of the basic timelines you can use is the presidential term of presidents in Africa. So I believe most African countries have 4 years. So if within that 4 years that the new president has been sworn into power, you as a person have not achieved anything for yourself, then you should be asking questions. All right. I know there are challenges, there are things that will come up that will not be in your favor, but trust me, it is a good measure of where you want to be or where you are and how you can get there. So it is one of the things that we can, because as somebody on a progress journey, you should be able to measure your progress. You should be able to measure your progress. All right. If you are not able to do that, well, then you have a question mark. Either financial progress, whether it is educational progress. I mean, no matter how it is, irrespective of the type of progress you're on, it can be family progress that you want to make. Okay, you can use this to measure it. And fortunately, or unfortunately, or however you want to measure it, there are so many things that others are using. All right. People are using journals, people are using whatever, but you have access to these 4 years. It's very basic. Within that 4 years, you can complete a degree. Within that 4 years, you can do your master's. Within that 4 years, you can be on study abroad journey. Within that 4 years, your farm would have blossomed. You would have made a lot of money as a farmer. Within that 4 years, as a teacher, you would have made a good stride with your students. All right, Priscilla, good morning. Michael, Miliano, good morning. Good morning to everyone. Oh yeah, Priscilla, I love Fridays as well. Emmanuel says something. Yep, Emmanuel, it is possible, right? It is possible for you to do it. Sid, good morning to you as well. So I gave my personal message regarding the voting going to happen in Ghana tomorrow on Wednesday. So I gave my message on Wednesday. So today I'm not going to say anything concerning the voting. If you decide to cash out, because as I said in that video, chiefs are cashing out, communities are cashing out, churches are cashing out. All right? Yes, almost everyone is cashing out. But if you as an intellectual who understands the nuances of economics, who understands the ups and downs, who understands the basic things that makes an economy run very well, you decide to also cash out your brain, you decide to cash out your intellectual property, well, it is absolutely your decision. Seraphim, It is absolutely your decision. I am not going to fight with you because people will say, oh, if you want us to do this, calm down. No, 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 I'm not coming down because I've been there since I was born. I've lived through elections. All right? I've participated in some and I lived through some. And I've seen enough. I've paid my time. Don't tell me I should calm down. No, you are in it now. If you decide to vote however you want to vote, you live with it. You understand? You live with it. Nobody's going to force you. No one is going to interfere with your voting situation or elections in your home country. So my word has been put out, and no, Emmanuel, I can't tell you who to vote for. You see, I can't tell you who to vote for, but you are an intellectual. You are a smart young man. You went to the university. You studied. You are exposed to other economies in the world. You know what is best and what you can do to change that. So nobody can tell you who to vote for. No one can tell you. All right? It is you who have to analyze your situation as a teacher, as a pharmacist, as a doctor, as whoever you are, and decide that, listen, this is where I think I should put my vote, and this is what I think will benefit the whole nation or benefit me in all this. You understand? If you are a farmer and you decide that this is how you want to vote, that is absolutely up to you. I cannot decide that for you, Ima. No, I cannot. So if you have not listened, go and listen to that my video on Wednesday. It was very simple, straight to the point, no gimmicks. I said what I had to say, and I'm done with it. Don't go crying to anybody after you vote the way you decide to vote. It is absolutely your choice, and you have to live with it for the next 4 years. All over the world, people vote and they want to regret. I've seen a lot of posts on YouTube about people saying, oh, I voted for Kamala and I've regretted. I voted for Trump and I regretted. Whoever you vote for, it depends on what choices you made that time to vote for those people. So you have to live with it. All right? You have to live with it for the next 4 years. All right? So that is that for my side. Sid says, Ghana election is better more than Togo. Next 4 years, nations forever in Togo. Why is Ghana crying? Well, Sid, everyone has their interest. You understand? Everyone has their interest. So it depends. It depends. It depends. Ghanaians are crying because they know what they are in. You understand? Emmanuel says, I applied today to sponsors, waiting for good news. Thank you. Good. That is what you should be focusing your energy on. You know? And Freddie Fred said something on his page, and I reposted it recently. After everything, add prayers. Whoever you pray to, add prayers. Prayer works. All right? Prayer works. Trust me, prayer works. Don't think it is just the matter of your intellectual ability or your applications that was nice, or your picture or your profile picture that was nice. No. There's a lot that goes on in the spirit realm that we don't see. We don't know. So if you have the opportunity, pray as well. All right, Ima. Deborah says, Mr. O, we are live, bro. Thank you so much for your kind words and encouragement. Thank you also for engaging with me. So this week, I think 3 days ago, I made a post. I made some very simple posts. And a lot of people took it lightly. A lot of people decided not to even react. One of the questions that I asked that I was surprised that there was no reaction for 24 hours, except just one reaction, all right, is how effectively do you use technology to improve students' outcomes? And I even added that, read the message very well. Read it again. How effectively do you use technology to improve student outcomes? These are some of the interview questions that they are going to ask you. You see, these days, they don't bring the question like, oh, so what kind of technology do you use in your classroom? Yes, they may ask you. But another twist to that same question would be, how effectively do you use technology in your classroom to improve the outcome of your students? Because they want to measure. They want to measure how you use technology. All right? It is not about whether you use it or not and what kind of technology you use. Yes, those questions may come. That question may come up and may pop up somewhere. But the major one that you should be focusing on is how effectively do you use that technology to improve the outcome of your students. How do you manage the AI? How do you manage the use of calculators? How do you manage the use of computers in achieving what you set out to achieve as a teacher per day? They want to measure. It should be measurable. All right? SMART goals, they must be what? Measurable. That is one of the key components of SMART goals. So if you go out to set out a goal or objective for the class, today we are learning about osmosis. What is our objective? Our objective is to be able to understand what osmosis is, and to be able to give examples, and to be able to, you should be able to measure that objective at the end of the day. So how well do you use technology to achieve that? No one answered the question. No one even commented, and I was surprised. But this is one question that principals will ask you, because the use of tech is now a big deal in these parts of the world. In North America, it is tech. I go to class. I do my teaching online these days. All right, I do my teaching online these days. I meet my students, and these are students who are in 20s. They are in 22. Some are even 24 years old. Students that I teach online. All right, and we interact using technology. So imagine the same math that I teach in classroom. Now I have to mimic the same thing online. Everything must feel the same. It must feel like they are in a physical classroom. So how effectively will you be able to use tech to achieve those same in-person classroom experience? I mean, give the student that in-person classroom experience of a sort. Yes, that's what they should be asking. So that's what you should be researching on. Then there was another question that I asked two questions in one post. And I know a lot of people will not pay attention. All right? Papa, good morning to you as well. I said, how do you diversify your lessons? Lesson diversification. How do you diversify your lessons? Number two, how do you differentiate your lessons? These two questions are never the same. If a principal, an assistant principal, a math coach is asking you these two questions, they are never the same. They are not the same. They want to test your mind, your brain on how. So first of all, you need to understand what diversification is. How do you diverse your class? Because you have access to students that are not of the same class economically, number one. They are not of the same learning level, number two. They are not of the same background culturally. So you have blacks, you have Asians, you have, all kind of people in your classroom, even though we are all of the same brown shade. We are just shades of brown, right? But you have their backgrounds, their cultural background being different. Somebody is coming from Colombia. Somebody is coming. I have students from Brazil. I have students from Colombia in my class. I have students from Philippines. I have students from Miami. You have students all over the world. And I have students from Africa, Nigeria. I have two Nigerian students in my class currently. I have, diverse backgrounds. And you have these Black Americans. You have the Indians in your class. How will you diversify your lessons in such a way that you satisfy, or you seem to satisfy every bit? So that question has to do more of the background of the learners you are teaching. How will your lesson be modeled such a way that everyone, so the kind of examples you use, the kind of things you say. So for instance, it will be an offense to say certain things to an Asian. It will be an offense to say certain things to an African, but it is no offense to say it to an American. Do you understand? So how you as a professional teacher how do you diversify? And I know a lot of teachers in Ghana, in Africa, in Kenya, we do that because this question even has to be directed more to us than any other person. You know why? Because we do more of the diversification. We have all kind of tribes. We have thousands of tribes sitting in our classroom. And these people, everyone has their unique way of doing their things, their unique way of talking, their unique way of saying things. Even the jokes they share are different. So if as a professional teacher, you cannot satisfy, your lesson is skewed, then you have a problem. and then you have a problem. So they will ask you some of these questions and they want to test the way, and you should be able to speak to it. And I tell you all the time, if you're answering questions with these agencies or the school principals, please use examples. For example, recently I had a student from this economic background. I had a student who wasn't, from let's say less, you don't say they are poor, but they have this. And this is how I did it, or this is what I did in order to satisfy them. In fact, for example, recently when I was teaching this topic, I had to use this example so that one student who has such a medical problem will not feel offended. So if I have a student with a disability in my class and I'm teaching a lesson, that I have to use an example that I know will be offensive to that disabled student, you don't have to use that example. That is how you diversify your lesson. The choice of example, the choice of words, your choice of assessments, whatever, should not put any student in a disadvantage. And how do you differentiate your lessons? I believe, as for that one, every teacher knows how to do that. Differentiation of lessons. You have students on a spectrum. You have students that have all forms of learning disabilities. You have students with different learning, abilities in your classroom. Okay, they have learning disabilities and they have learning abilities, in the sense that student may be a dyslexic student. Dyslexia. That student has a dyslexia. That person will learn differently from somebody who is just low in IQ. I get to my point. So low achievers, high achievers, average achievers, they are different from students with special needs. There are students in your class that have 504 plans. There are students in your class that will have health plans. There are students that will have accommodations, all kind of accommodations. Sometimes language barrier. I have students who only speak Spanish. Their English is small. Me no speak English. Those kind of students are there. How will you differentiate your lesson in order to meet all these students? Because the goal is meet them where they are. It is not that bringing the students to your level. No. You are not bringing the students to your level. You are meeting them where they are. So if that student is at your chest level, you have to come down. If that student is at your waist level, you have to go down. If a student in my class told me that, Mr. O, listen, you need to break this, and this is a high school student. Remember, that boy is about 22 years old. Now, he said, Mr. O, you need to break the thing down to the barest minimum for me before I can understand. Yes. He said, listen, you need to break it down. All that you are saying, you are way above my thinking. You need to come down to the barest minimum. I said, how barest minimum? I said, to the barest, like low level, elementary level, break it down. So how will you break down calculus to the barest elementary level for such a student? How will you break down correlation, statistics, probability to that level? How will you break down the science that you are teaching? How will you break down the English language that you are teaching to the barest minimum for such a student? That is all the differentiation is about. All right. And you see, you have to give examples. For example, I differentiate my assessments because I have this kind of students, blah, blah, blah. I have a student that is dyslexia and I have a student that has a hearing problem. I do this and this and this. I put these accommodations in place. I change their sitting positions, and my assessment for learning or my assessment for understanding is crafted such a way that it satisfies these students. Do you know my class? I don't give all the students, I don't give them the same form of assessment. No, you are not supposed to. That is what differentiation does. You are not supposed to give them all the same level of assessment. All right? Because some will be operating at unit 1 whilst you are on unit 4. Yes, somebody is still at unit 1 when the whole class is at unit 4. So you can't just go to the class and say, oh, because we are in unit 4, everybody should do this test. No. If a student is on the spectrum and he or she is sitting in your class, you cannot just give the same kind of assessment to everyone. No. All of you, let's do question 1 to 6. That student needs about 2 days to solve 2 questions. Yeah, there are students like that. The parents will call you, these are the accommodation they have, these are the blah, blah, blah. So my student needs more time. And you tell them they will write it in their file and give it to you as a teacher. This student needs more time to complete tasks. This student needs more time to complete assignments. So that's why if I give 5 questions to everyone, I'll give that student about 3 or 2 questions targeted at certain ability level or certain comprehension that I want to test. Exam or assessments no exam in the world can assess every cognitive ability of every student. Yes. Listen, I did my master's in measurement and evaluation. So I have a bias for different ways of testing students' cognitive abilities. All right. You see all these exams that you guys should take, aptitude tests and all those cognitive exams. They cannot assess every cognitive ability of you or of your student. They only assess a part. So you are only assessing a part. So if my objective is to assess the student's ability to be able to compute a one-step equation, that is all I have to test that student on. Then there are those who are above or higher performance where I want to test. I will add word problems. I'll give them the level of difficulty will be different. That is differentiating. So all the components that goes into you trying to cater for every ability group in your class is what we refer to as the differentiation. And you must be able to do that professionally as a teacher. Bonjour, Kofi. You must be able to do that professionally as a teacher. So Mr. Kofi is teaching French. He cannot just walk there, and these are American students that he's teaching French to. He cannot just walk there thinking that they all speak French. No, they are not students in Togo or Cote d'Ivoire or Sierra Leone. No, they don't naturally speak French. So he has to craft his lessons in order to satisfy everybody. There are students who don't even want to learn the subject. They are there. They are all sitting there. But at the end of the day, everyone has to be satisfied before they leave the class. So if Mr. Kofi is giving assessment to students from French-speaking origins, like countries, because for me, I have students from Cote d'Ivoire, I have students from Sierra Leone. I have one student from Sierra Leone in my class. She's just amazing. Such a student, if I'm teaching French, because she naturally speaks French, so you can give higher assessments to that student. Then those who don't know anything, they are the ones you'll be learning the bonjour, ça va très bien, the basic ones. Just greetings. Bonjour, Mr. Kofi. Bonjour, Ella. Bonjour, Teresa. Simple questions. Then you go beyond the ones that you think will understand. Vivian, good morning. So I asked these questions and I saw amazing responses. And some are a little bit, I'm like, okay. Then I also asked this question. What 4 key components do you believe must be included in your lesson plan? All right? As of this morning, I got 12 responses. Now, you see this question, what 4 key components must be included in your lesson plan? It can be changed in so many forms. Yes, they may not ask you directly that question, but having the understanding of these will help you to answer the differentiation, will help you to answer the diversification, will help you to answer anything related to your lesson preparation and your delivery in class. If you know the components that goes into lesson preparation, it makes it easy to be able to answer anything related to what? Delivery, lesson preparation, interacting with your student assessments. Because these components help you to structure your lesson in any given day. Yes. Knowing the objectives, knowing how what form of assessment you are going to use, the lesson delivery, whether you are going to use the questioning style, you are going to use the lecture method, you are going to use whatever method, the kind of methods you use will all go into what? Telling us what actually goes into it. And I saw some wonderful responses on the page. Some say strand, sub-strand, objective, teaching, learning resources. Some say preliminary information, objective, instructional procedure, and evaluation. So the evaluation is the same as assessment, right? Yusuf. Assalamu alaikum, Yusuf. You understand? Evaluation is the same as assessment. So the vocabs will be different, but having the concept, understanding it is the most important thing to do. All right? Having the concept. So somebody says the topic, the objective, the teaching methodology, and the summary of the lesson. But you see, that person left out a very key component, which is the assessment, or what we call evaluation. Yes, you are considering your teaching methodology, you are considering your objectives, you are considering the topic, you are considering the what? The summary of the lesson. But you are leaving one very big component out, that is assessment. All right? So I couldn't get time to respond to everybody, but I just watched and learned. I'm like, okay, everyone seems to have a general idea, but it is your responsibility as a teacher to narrow it down and break it down and speak to it as if you are in an interview and you are answering that question. So again, these questions may be crafted in a different way. It is your understanding and the way you can command the interview. That is the only thing that will win it for you. Trust me. And I am not a prophet of doom, but I am predicting that in the coming days, the kind of interview these people are going to conduct will be different, because the applicants are many and they want to weed out a lot of people. They are going to use Machiavellian tactics. Yes, if you know about it, you can go and read. Machiavellian tactics. Elimination by rough tactics. As we normally say in our local parlance, they will use every technicality to eliminate you. So it is your responsibility to be on top of your game, because they are going to use anything. Maybe your use of the right vocabs. And I can tell you people that, see these people in North America, if the principals are interviewing you and you use vocabs that do not resonate with them, they may not necessarily connect with you. Yeah. If, for instance, here we are talking about objectives and you say it is sub-strand, or you are using different vocab to mean the same thing, it will be difficult. So your examples will be your savior, and the way you can connect with the interviewers. That is the only thing that will save you. All right? Yes. So I'll be putting up questions. I used to do it and I stopped. I'm going to put that question. I'm not going to tell you these are interview questions, but it is your responsibility as an applicant to take your time, build on it. Why is this guy asking this question? How am I going to answer it? Somebody has sacrificed to be the sacrificial lamb for the hot seat. So we are going to create a hot seat video very soon, before maybe this weekend, if all things being equal. All right? And the person has good internet connectivity, who will conduct that interview. I wanted to bring one of my former principals to do the interview, but her timing is not timing. Yes, I wanted to just give you a direct feel that, listen, this is it. Assuming you are facing this woman now and you are supposed to answer these questions, and she is supposed to employ you as a science teacher, as an English teacher, as a whatever teacher, how are you going to be responding? So I hope we will all be alert and take notice of some of these things. All right. I have a YouTube interview with Pact today. Very good. So prepare yourself. You see, a lot of people have reached out and I said, listen, you don't need me directly. If you need me one-on-one for us to do tete-a-tete, correct one-on-one, it has to be paid. Yeah. The time is not timing for anybody. So you have to commit some resources, financial resources to it. I don't charge much. You can come and let's have that. But I believe Yusuf, for instance, have prepared himself because he's been on this platform for a long time. So Yusuf have prepared himself, watching some of the interviews, not from me alone, but from other content creators who are all talking about some of these techniques and tactics and some of the things that we all share. All right. So he has used all the resources available to him to get himself ready. And I believe at the end of the day, he will have a good news. Whether it is your first interview, your second interview, you must be prepared. People are taking the first interview. Recently, 2 people were denied because, 1, their internet connectivity was whack. Number 2, they couldn't perform in the interview session. They took the first interview lightly. Oh, this is just a normal basic one. Okay, they said, we are sorry, you cannot continue. Yeah. I'm telling you, because there are about 5,000, 3,000 applicants, not from Ghana alone, all over the world. So you have to shine. You have to be exceptional. I'm not saying be the diamond level, but trust me, you need to be able to prove yourself worthy of it. Some teachers, they told them, look, you talk too fast. Listen, our tongue is heavy. So sometimes when you are dealing with these North American principals, you have to take your time and, show yourself, articulate well. Your pronunciations, your choice of vocabs, they should be on point. All right? Thank you so much, Oye. I salute you as well. Thank God it's Friday. Tete-a-tete, French one. Say it. Yeah, we need to have a tete-a-tete, We need to have one-on-one, converse, and do 1 or 2 things. At that level, you have to commit some small questions. All right? I'll start my class January to March. All right. Sit. In fact, it is married. Don't worry. Right after this, we'll talk. All right? Right after this, we'll talk. So, guys, I want to leave you here. I think I have done justice to this first part of this conversation. From time to time, I may do it. You never know. That is why I say keep your eyes open, be on the guard. You never know. Somebody reached out to me 2 hours to their interview. I said, no, I cannot do anything. I also have my time. So there is no way I can leave everything I'm doing because you have an interview in the next 2 hours and you want me to do magic for you. No, I cannot do magic for you. It's unfortunate. And you don't have to be angry because you had an opportunity. You set out this interview like a month ago and you were supposed to just reach out, book an appointment. No, you saw the appointment. You say you not book because you are bigger than Yasimbe Yadima. You are bigger than Gaddafi. So you don't want to. Now 2 hours at the time, you are calling me, you are pressuring me. No, I cannot. There is nothing I can do about it. We all have things to do. We all have a lot of things on our plate already. Okay, so let's engage in a professional way. Guys, thank you so much. Yusuf, all the best, and I hope you nail this exam, this interview. In a simple way, all right? And bring back good news. Bring back good news, Yusuf. All right. Oh. Okay. Yes, sir. Hello to you as well. Hello to you. So, guys, we'll meet again. All right? We'll meet again. Don't let us make it long. Have a blessed day. Today's a Friday. And if you are voting in Ghana, please do it peacefully and enjoy the peace that we have. There is no place for violence. There is no point in being violent. It doesn't pay. All right? The politician you are fighting for, he or she has his children and their passports in Portugal already. In fact, some of them have flown their kids out and their families out already. So if you go trying to be the Superman for a politician, you just You just die a stupid death. Yeah. You just die a stupid death. Don't go and sacrifice your life for any politician. No. All right? The youth in Ghana, do not go sacrificing your life for any politician. It is not worth it. Those politicians don't care about you. I keep saying it too. They don't care about you. If they do, they will not do the things they are doing, and they will not behave the way they behave, and they will not talk the way they talk. They don't care about you. Your life is more important than any politician who has their families in the UK, in the US here. Most of them, their families are citizens here. So you think killing yourself or hurting yourself for them is going to help you? No, it's not. All right? It's not. Servant, thank you so much as well. MFA, hello. So, guys, it is what it is. I wish you all the best. And let's connect again another time. Have a blessed weekend. And let's talk. Bye-bye.